Box numbers: Donaire 13-40, Mathebula 15-71. Mathebula with 47 jabs in that round. He only landed 6. Although he may have landed more and thrown more, it was Donaire who controlled the action in that first round.
I think in this fight so far, boy, he fights a lot like you used to. Oftentimes kind of surrounding his opponent, using angles, using that great foot speed and hand speed. Here, in the first round, he was applying steady pressure, walking Mathebula down a bit.
Yeah, but Mathebula is tall, so you can't kind of cut the ring. I mean, you can cut the ring off him, you can't fight around him. If you fight around him, you're never going to reach him. He's too tall, but he's 5 inches taller than this and there. So the man has to go directly to him.
Sure, and it's one thing to try that, but when you haven't spent a career doing that, to do it as effectively as Donaire is doing it so far is impressive.
Right hand was blocked by Mathebula.
His hands are trying to call the opponent. I don't want that one.
He said he would do that. He said he would definitely drop his hands. And that's just really show that have no respect. He showed a lot of things. Mathebula had no respect for your country.
All respect in boxing is very good and stuff like that.
He's good out there, man. He can only come just like he's good.
His combination of good and body touch and also Mathebula.
Mathebula's going to bring the punch himself.
Trade inside.
He's going to trade with that's surprising to me.
Donaire to the left hand with Mathebula against the ropes.
Rounds is going in and
I don't know
power.
what Donaire is doing that right. He's really pulling up on the hip, hoping to end it early. It looks like to me.
I don't love it, but it's kind of the right thing to do for a short fighter against a taller fighter. You got to hold him out, not looking to outbox him because he has to do that hand on.
Catch him on the point of his hip, Mathebula doesn't stand straight up.
Nice combination by Mathebula. He's thrown 97 punches to Donaire's 40. And some pretty good strikes there. Donaire starts to get out, Mathebula ties him up. And the right for 2. The counter box numbers, Donaire landed 15-44. 14 of those connects were power shots. Mathebula threw 112 punches, landed 27. He was 14 of 66 with his jab, and had a pretty good round, too.
I didn't see Mathebula land 27 punches, and I thought Donaire won the round.
Well, I thought some of the punches Mathebula landed, some of his better punches were actually body shots. And that was impressive because you don't often see the tall guy go to the body on the short guy.
Although more and more in recent years, Roy, you mentioned Paul Williams.
Sabi daw na lapitin ba magdudulo na mo.
Diego Corrales used to be the great Diego Corrales.
All three of the pose looks like short guys.
Right, and Mathebula fights on the outside.
That's exactly right. That's why it's surprising that Mathebula goes to the body as much as he is. What's going to be impressive is if he can survive these next 2 or 3 rounds, it seems that he gets stronger in the second half of the fight. That's what he's going to do.
When you mention E, what do you mean E?
Mathebula.
Well, that's one of the reasons I really think South African fighters don't get more fresh. Names are hard to pronounce. They don't fight on a lot of American TV.
But it's like you said, they go through one heck of a plumbing process to get to the United States and to be able to fight on American TV.
That's right. You see them on American TV and we think they're fighting.
Right, moving around there with Mathebula, though, that finished that entire painting exchange with the jab that caught the chin of Donaire. Work inside with the left hand for Mathebula, and he fires out a jab, combination from body.
Yeah, you're seeing some of the effects of Donaire, the pressure fighter, aren't used to doing this. He's coming in, not behind the jab, and he's throwing that home run left hook as though he hopes that's going to end the fight. And Mathebula is able to score with some combination with some jabs on the right inside. Donaire's right inside.
Yeah, the one thing I think Donaire has to do though, that Robert Garcia told in the corner was to body some while he's over your top.
I think Donaire is throwing significantly harder than him.
But he's not landing.
I see him landing here. I see him landing some pretty good left.
If you went to the body more, they'll open up some big head shots for him.
Hindi ka na may ugkang ka nang napay jacket anak ba nga para sa anak tibali ba? Plus tanan imo nga rin. Para sa anang kombinasyon. Oo. Unya kat-kat ka kanang naiputyokan ba?
Hindi ko masuod ang putyokan na ni.
Ha?
Panglamok naman eh.
Panglamog ra?
Oo.
Di ka patay putyokan na ha?
Patay kung buwan. Kung kasuod sa silalom, hindi mo na makasuod kay panglamok naman eh.
Ah, di makasuod no, gamay ra no.
Kamay lang.
Ikanip ang maputyokan pag-hoop.
Pwede, tanggalon ni siya. Ganyan.
Pero napinig ana, suod.
Tanggalon ni siya. Yung ilalong may pang, yung ilalong na may mga kurente yan eh.
Oh. Pero napinig ana makasuod siguro.
Ang lang, nabasin.
Ha?
Hindi siguro may gamay man.
Di ka makasuod no?
Tanggalon nga rin siya para
Ang yun.
lamok. Ayan.
There is Rachel Donaire, Nolio's wife, married in August of 2008, member of the USA National Taekwondo team.
Grabe sa mga yung peka.
Number 4, we ran unofficial ringside score, Harold
Okay,
Leonard.
well, I got a 29-28, 2 rounds to 1, no, Nico Donaire. Now, I got to tell you something. This fight, you got to measure how many jabs the Mongoose has to land to offset one wallop that Nolio Donaire is, and who can go back. I got a round 2 and threw about 100 punches. But, you know, he did more with the Mongoose. But certainly for rounds 1 and 3, I thought Donaire did a lot more with the fewer wallops he landed. You know, whether it's a hard left or a hard overhand right. But that's what you judge him. He says he wins a lot of jabs. Does he do enough to offset those wallops? That's what he has to judge. And it ain't easy. Let me tell you. 2-1, Nico Donaire.
Very nice window into the judging eyes.
the thing about Mathebula is he's landing a little kind of pity pass inside, really. It's more than pity pass, but not a whole lot more. But he's the kind of fighter who comes out harder in the second half. And boy, some of those little touches now, when he knows he can touch him in the second half of the fight, if it goes that long, can be harder shots.
Much harder shots, and they can have much more of a devastating effect later on fight. As he said in his corner, what they said in his corner, Lolito's face is going to show a little redness. That could be a problem if this fight goes for a longer period of time.
That third round will be interesting, especially if this is a close fight, to see how the judges scored that round. And I would think that round to Donaire got thrown a couple of power shots.
I think Donaire's clearly carrying this round. I thought Donaire won the second and Mathebula won the third, but Harold is sitting here judging, not making commentary. I kind of want to take his word for it.
And you know, Harold usually does a pretty good job of judging.
Good left-handed body from Donaire.
Little blood from Mathebula's nose.
Donaire has caught Mathebula with a lot more of those shots in this round.
I think he's going to retire just a little bit from Mathebula.
This is where Donaire's conditioning in this fight is really going to come into opinion. Because he's got to work really hard just to get into the right range.
That was a great body shot.
Donaire is giving Mathebula all kinds of chances by keeping his hands down low. And he hasn't really paid for it yet, Roy, but sometimes he's not getting those exchanges and endorsing shots, and Donaire's putting himself in unnecessary risk. Maybe not many good punch like that.
Cannot be saved by the bell in any round. Mathebula's up, first time in his career. He's been down on the canvas, a left hand near the end of round 4.
Holy smokes.
Oh, daon na.
Wala pa.
Ha?
Wala pa.
Daon na.
Wala pa na pa yung oras. Kawan.
Here you see the coconut flash dip inside with a hook, wham, right over the top of Mathebula's right hand.
Oh.
A beautiful, well-placed left hook. Once again, he blocks the shot, boom, right on the jaw, a beautiful left hook.
He was looking for that shot since the opening round, the opening bell.
Exactly. And there it is.
Bayo pagkaigo. Ipaundang na.
Chopper down.
And there's Rachel Donaire celebrating the knockdown. So, Mathebula can throw 100 punches in a round, but one good left hand like that, those power shots, and change the whole feel of everything. Good uppercut for Donaire. Follows up the right and left. Mathebula back on his heels here to start the fight.
And when you look at a guy like Lolito there, you know he's done his homework. He's studied Mathebula. He knows that Mathebula is not a real man. And he can drop his hands and play with it and find them openings like he did in that last round.
This round, though, I feel as though Donaire's being a little more responsible. He's backing off at certain times to get his range back, get his distance, get his balance. He's trying to pick off some more shots, and as I say, that Mathebula answers good shots.
Wasn't that a little bit of a carrier for the last round where he fought smart and he was very effective and then eventually got his big shot?
Tig sa puso.
This is a new role for Donaire.
Patay ang koto sa ero.
Ha?
Patay ang koto sa ero. Ang liwutang ba?
Ito sa'yo.
In many respects, it was a good right hand to Mathebula.
He knew he was going to pick it up later in the fight. It's just a matter of time. However, this is making the fight very interesting. He's landed some very good hard shots this round, Mathebula has. But Donaire has not taken a step back. He's willing to sacrifice to land his big shot.
And then Donaire steps in with a pumping right, that one blocked on the left wall of Mathebula.
And he respects it in an audition. Donaire wants to know for himself, can he fight a bigger, longer, rangier fighter as a pressure?
Good left hand by Donaire. And he fires up with another shot. Would you rather be?
I'd rather be Donaire in this round. Mathebula landed one punch in particular that stopped Donaire in his tracks for a second, and otherwise the heavy artillery is Donaire.
He was strong in the left eye of Donaire. Final seconds in the fifth round. Next Saturday night, 140-pounders. Amir Khan and Danny Garcia's war of words gives way to their battle in the ring. 2 title belts on the line in that one. Then August 25th, catch the premiere of 24/7 Road to Ward Dawson as we set the table for the big September 8th showdown between 168-pound kingpin Andre Ward and the sport's top 175-pound fighter, Bad Chad Dawson.
That's when Red Pump slap. He's scared to see a lot more from big side to side, then from the inside punch.
Not reaching the second round.
Don't jump in when he punches. Don't jump in it.
Next up, nothing. Watch.
It is bell again. Round number 6. Jeffrey Mathebula down to the left hand in round 4.
The fact that Mathebula was basically saved by the bell in the previous round, and 60 seconds later, with 60 seconds to clear his head, fights his butt off in the very next round.
Not only that, I must tell you that I have seen, I didn't say anything about it. Mathebula has a very good defense for a fight. The only time Nolito really can get it is when he's trying to hit Nolito, which means he has to punch, of course. But when he doesn't open up the punch, it's very difficult for Nolito to land solid punches on the tall player.
Yeah, by the way, this is the kind of fight. Oh, good right handshake by Mathebula. This is the kind of fight maybe easier to score at home on a high-def TV, where a lot of these high-velocity punches that Donaire is throwing and impressive on ringside may not be connected as frequently as I think here ringside, and meanwhile Mathebula could be touching Donaire with a little more force in his face than I'm giving him credit for. In terms of the force with which they're throwing the shots, they're so Harris, Nolito's throwing much harder than Mathebula. It's not always landing.
Mathebula averaging throwing 99 punches per round and throwing 62 jabs around during the combat.
He's not a big puncher, Mathebula, that is, but he does sneak a hard punch down the time every now and then.
Great hand from Donaire.
Like that. Great right hand by Mathebula just did.
Mathebula's hitting Donaire on the button because they're right about half a dozen times this round.
That's right. It's not bothering him, and he is ready to punch.
12 of Mathebula's career, 14 knockouts from inside the first 4 rounds.
Very good by Mathebula just did.
And Donaire's going to get his hands around his hips. Get away with that against a guy that's 5 feet tall. Flyweight division. 6
the bigger man. Basically short here. And hands by Mathebula touch the face of Donaire. Donaire steps back to the power out of his own. Good round though for Jeffrey Mathebula.
Thank you. What's up for me, okay? What's for me? Good luck, good luck. Throw punches from angles. But do not throw me enough right hands at me, huh? Look at the right hand, look at the right hand, the right hand go by itself. Okay. Fucking nice left away. On the shoulder with the right.
You see everything coming. You see everything coming. And he landed nothing. I want to see more of that. Okay?
Round 7. Round 7.
We're halfway. Okay? Halfway.
I'll see you in seconds now. Clear the ring, gentlemen. Let's go. Let's go. Round 7. How we doing, okay? Let's go.
Gorgeous night here in Southern California, the Home Depot Center, Carson, California, as we begin round 7 for Donaire and Jeffrey Mathebula. We check in once again with Harold Leonard.
Okay, well, that is 58-55. 4 rounds to 2 don't beat Donaire. But I agree with you, round 6, where you said that Mathebula had a good round. He did. But I find it very interesting that Nick Durant and Mathebula's corner's column could drop the right hand. Not really used to do that. He was a big, tall guy. And, he would bring that right hand down on you. And when you throw that right hand over the top, you drop it on the shoulder of opponent, you can knock him into the second row. And that's what Nick Durant wants to see. Mathebula basically was sticking to that left hand and obstructing the right hand. Because Donaire's got his hands going down. And if Mathebula dropped the right hand, Donaire would never be able to block it. 4 rounds to 2, though, beat Donaire.
Remember, Donaire scored the knockdown in the 4th round with that left hand. First time that Mathebula has been down in his career.
Donaire. Jeffrey Mathebula, if his career pattern holds up, might start dropping that right hand any minute because he generally performs better against his best opponents in the second half of fights, Roy.
And he generally does, but he generally doesn't get knocked down in the early part either. So we'll have to see when that knockdown affects him getting more vision in the second hand like he normally does. When he holds form or when the knockdown discourages him being the old Mathebula.
Well, what about the pressure sort of on Donaire? Like, as Max said, he's having to fight a different kind of fight than he's used to. He's going to do a lot of work just to get in the right match.
Yes, he does, but this is what he wanted. This is what he asked for. So, of course, there's not pressure on him, but him it's just that he has to do it. He's doing his job, but he accepts the job. That's why he asked for Mathebula.
I gotta say, Donaire is throwing a kind of funky left jab, almost like a hook that's knocking Mathebula's headway back, and it looks really good. And sure, it's effective, but it's not really a devastating punch the way that Chris is reacting, I don't think, but it's not like the hook he threw earlier.
So it's not devastating, it's just that it knocks your head straight up in the air, and that's what the crowd wants to see. It's a reaction of the next react. And to be honest with you, that's the same left jab that opponents use to play Floyd knows with. Not that devastating punch is more aggravating than devastating.
I think Donaire is throwing it more now, boy, because, as you mentioned, Mathebula has a tricky defense, and he's taken away most of Donaire's heavy left hooks.
And his height allows him to be out of the weight of the left hook a lot quicker than most people would. So the jab goes further than the left hook will travel.
And of round 7.
Breathe. Take deep breaths right away. Open it. Good. Vision good?
Yeah.
Okay?
My legs coming back.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good.
Round 8. Round 8.
Capture it. Do it 4 times. Switch it to a choke after that, okay? Step on the jump, give it 1, 2 to the body, and then go upstairs and little line, okay? See what can inside, what can go up. Round 8. You all good? We're good.
So you want that, bro? I will just come back on it. You're not throwing anything at him, so that's why he's playing in front of you.
In round number 8 for Mathebula, according to Mathebula, the 52 punches that he threw in round 7, by far his lowest output. Only threw one real sustained power shot. Even his corner, Nick Durant, kind of said, you're not doing that much. You're allowing him to sort of control it.
Yeah, that was the first round of the second half of the fight. If that was an indication of how he's going to perform, then he's not going to be the normal Mathebula in this fight.
Got a couple of questions answered so far tonight. You know, Mathebula's camp, Nick Durant, and Mathebula believe that at 122 pounds, Donaire's not a puncher. We've seen that he is. Flatten Mathebula, who seemed to be saved by the bell with a left hand earlier in the fight. And Mathebula's gotten up and fought hard since then, and they have won the very next round after the knockdown. We also see Donaire is bothered by a world-class taller fighter. He's a little easier to hit with the jab than he should be. Now he's using that foot speed, Roy, to create angles and embarrass Mathebula.
You know, be careful, so Mathebula can throw a pretty decent left hook at times.
That left jab of Mathebula's had some effect on Donaire. The fact that there's swelling under the left eye of Donaire.
He's just not using his left jab enough. Mathebula.
No, he's not using it effectively. He's throwing 59 jabs around, but you'd like to see it more effective.
Well, no, you have to even throw more jabs because when he's outside like this is his time to get off. So if he's going to really fight his jabs, guess what? Like right there. If he's throwing it, his name him to land 3 or 4 other punches. If he throws it, he can land more punches behind it. But by saving it and throwing 59 around, well, that's his best weapon. He can't win the fight like that.
Tell you what, rangy fighters, taller than Donaire, who are world class and can punch with the right hand, have got to be liking what they're seeing so far, because Mathebula is really able to reach Donaire cleanly, much more than we're used to seeing.
Yeah, but that's only because Donaire is always on the attack. He's not one of the really on the attack against guys that are not quite as tall. He knows that Mathebula.
But what about the tall guys as Donaire moves up, as he continues to move up, who he will have to come in on, who can punch better than Mathebula?
We don't know many guys on the 106 that are 5'11" inches tall.
Touche.
You have to go up.
No 130.
Super middleweight.
Only seconds of the 8th round. One of the most impressive punches landed by Mathebula in that round.
Lumipik sa sinumay na ito, no? Well, kayo nakadaon lang.
Especially with the jab, step on the double jab, and then you're coming in, follow up. Okay? Okay? Look at that. He's like that first.
Round number 9 underway, scheduled for 12. Donaire and Jeffrey Mathebula as they look to unify 122-pound belts. There's been one knockdown in the fight. Mathebula got dropped by a left hand in round 4.
Donaire could be in some danger here because while he's creating the impression that he's the more talented fighter who's able to play around, he's already dropped Mathebula viciously.
While he's playing around, Mathebula's steady landed shots.
Yeah, pretty good shots.
Look at the face of Donaire. Forehead, left eye, swelling. So the overall impression Donaire leaving as, yes, I'm the better man. But he may not be winning these rounds. Like the last one.
He just has to punch more. Part of the problem is, if you watch at the end of the last round, right when he gets started, that jab makes him stop. Sometimes a good stiff jab can neutralize a guy's attack. And that's what Mathebula is doing with his jab.
I thought Donaire getting that jab on track. Donaire in this fight is landed 37 of 169 jabs, 22%, throwing 13 around.
Donaire looking for a home run. Got hit by about 8 shots.
Exactly right. That's what Mathebula does as well.
Some of it worked, some of it not.
Most of it was landing, I thought. So they are unable to kind of will Mathebula into a knockout so far. And now trying to counter off of Mathebula's jabs.
Yeah. One thing that we right here that we have to realize is that he can jab with the jammers, and the land allows more bigger punches.
Right, that's what I think. He's now realizing, okay, I got to do more than just will this thing. I have to actually apply some technique here. Let me counter off what Mathebula's doing, which he's not setting up his own punches, Donaire.
That's right. He just uses his jab to set up his own punches.
And Mathebula has stuck with the script. As far as what he needs to do to sort of control range and make this fight hard for Donaire. We come to the end of round number 9 with some good discipline by Jeffrey Mathebula the last 2 rounds.
That's good. Very good discipline. All the other stuff.
They make a miss. They use too far to counter. Stay a little bit closer, a little bit closer. And they make a miss. That's when you catch him. That's when you're going to catch him. When you're a little bit closer, you fight him too far.
Oh, 10 seconds out. Clear the range.
Let's get him, okay?
Clear the range.
See the face of Donaire marked up from that jab of Jeffrey Mathebula. We begin round number 10, scheduled for 12. Japan putting his 122-pound belt on the line. Bring in Harold Letterman for his scorecard.
Okay, bud. I got an 86-84, 5 rounds to 4.